This has Vantage, I assume, right?
Yeah. This is Vantage. Oh, wait. Before we like move
Yeah,
on,
let's
is this
define what
okay?
the tiers mean.
So I think it's easier to say that we should define this based on like how one like how great their kit is, and two, how they compare to other heroes, how they compare to
Well,
other
anyway,
legends.
my favorite hero is Tracer. I
Yeah.
love playing for
My
the
favorite legend
Tracer.
is actually Winston. All right. So we'll start with Bloodhound. I feel like Bloodhound is a B tier, kind of like a
I
basis.
think they're high B, low A.
I'm gonna put it on B. I want to say it's on B just because like there's still a lot of
I,
other heroes that have a better kit right now than
okay,
Bloodhound.
okay. Can we think character? You're gonna do it all day.
I'm sorry, I'm just so used to this hero. Legends. There's other legends. There's other legends that are just really good right now that
What do we define B tier as? Like, it's
I
above
think
average, right?
I think it's average.
Well, I feel like C is better to say average, right?
Yeah, but if you go from S to D tier, there's already five. B is like straight up in the middle.
Well, S to me is like this character defines the meta and probably needs adjustments to nerf.
Right. But still, I feel like
Whereas
Bloodhound would
B
still
is
be.
like they're a solid character, right?
But they're not
But
great.
no, I think B is good. That you don't have, and you can
Yeah,
even
good.
argue great.
So
I
there's
think you can
good,
even argue
great,
great.
there's good, great, and there's OP.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Um,
C is like it's like they're
if we're
okay.
gonna put Bloodhound in B, I think Bloodhound should be like a high B. Cause
I don't have the different like B's and highs and whatever. It's just straight up
oh
B
no,
tier.
yeah, I mean like I'm
Yeah.
assuming you're going left to right and ordering it,
Oh no no
because that's
no.
what I usually do.
I just go like.
Okay, I'm
Oh
used
well,
to
actually
fighting
I mean
games where you go
that
left
sounds
to right.
fun. That sounds I can do that. That sounds fun.
Yeah, no, fighting games usually
Yeah.
do the same thing where you go left to right because like people can be in the same tier, but clearly like there's a better B tier than certain other B tiers,
I'll put it
and I
closer to high
definitely
B.
think, yeah, I
Yeah.
think like Bloodhound's a low A, high B, because on-demand wall hack is still fucking amazing, even if Thea does it better.
Yeah, but like it's a 30-second cooldown. It doesn't happen too often unless you have ult. And his ult is honestly
Is it
more
a
of a
30
hindrance.
seconds?
It's 30
It's
seconds.
25. I mean, that's still not great,
It's
but
still lower. It's still higher than Sears. And
alt is.
it doesn't
Let
have
me
that
check the alt.
interrupt. It doesn't have that interrupt compared to Seer.
Alt is a much faster cooldown, and I don't know. I think it's
No,
a
ult
really
is
good
not a
ult.
faster cooldown than Seer.
No, it's not. I'm saying it's a faster cool. It goes from 25 to 8, which if you're
Yeah,
using the ult properly in a firefight, 8-second
but
cooldown in a firefight for 30 seconds, and if you're refreshing kills,
but
which makes the thing longer.
but Seer
It
is
might be a low A.
Seer is constant, and the fact that Seer's ult charges really fast, so you can pretty much use it in almost any fight except maybe the first one.
I know, but like if I see a Bloodhound on my team, I'm not gonna be like upset about it, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna be upset about it. That's why I think like he's like average. Like he's good, but he's not like great. That's why I would say like I would maybe settle for like close to high
Is
B,
average the same as
but
good? Are we gonna call it that?
yeah, that's what I say.
I think good is
Average,
above
good.
average.
Huh?
I think good is above average. Average is mid.
Because good is good and great. I think good is like average. Because most things nowadays are good, but they're not great. I feel like the standard of what average is
Okay.
has been moved to good.
Then I slightly think that I would probably put Bloodhound in low A, but you're free to put him in B plus. That's
Okay.
like it's fair.
I'll put it in B.
With where Seer is.
Okay.
Hell,
Since we're
Tracker
talking
is like kind of underrated.
since we're talking about Zero already, let's just put him in S tier for now.
He's S tier.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't even know if we have to explain
No.
why a consistent wall hack over time is kind of insane.
We don't have to. He's just
Uh,
that good.
And then a
Uh,
passive heartbeat, so like it's kind of dumb.
His
It's
passive's really
silly.
good. His passive is basically just a better Bloodhound at this point. Um,
We love power creep in our video games. I forgot, I can't even equip Bloodhound or Seer because I don't have him unlocked.
so who's
Uh,
next on the list?
Gibby.
Maybe Gibraltar. Where are you at?
Uh,
Okay.
I definitely think with the nerf, well, indirect nerfs to Gibby, he's a B tier, right?
See here. Okay, here's the thing. I do agree he's a B tier, but I don't know. It just doesn't. there's less people that play him, but I feel like the only nerf that really has been done is the fact that Mad Maggie can basically demolish his shields. But I don't know. I don't really see.
He has a huge hitbox, dude. He's easy to hit, even if he has fortification.
I mean, he is, but like, I feel like his shields when you're sniping from afar is really nice. And I don't know. I will put Gibby at like a B tier just because I feel like he is used a lot less nowadays.
Yeah, he's center of B. The thing is too, is that the benefit of his bubble is kind of overshadowed by Newcastle kind of doing the Guardian heal, like Guardian res, a lot better than he does. Because repositioning is kind of better than sticking to one spot and using the dome shield. Which
Right.
The dome has a long cooldown, by the way.
Right.
Like-
but I think that the dome is still better than. I think it's still like a
The
step
dome
above.
is better than Newcastle's thing,
Yeah.
but in terms of like, God, that's a 28-second cooldown for his dome shield. By the way, that's a
But if
kinda
used
rough.
I feel like if used properly. So I think
yeah, but you could
between-
say that for any hero, right? Or any God, you're making me do it.
you can, but at the same time, like if you have two heroes that you use properly at an equal level, one hero usually outperforms the other. In this case, I think Gibby. If
I
used
would much
properly,
rather have a
would
Newcastle
outperform
on my team
Newcastle.
than a Gibby. But
I don't know, I'd rather
yeah, I
have
mean, we both
Gibby.
agree like B tier for Gibby, right?
B tier, but I think is he higher than Bloodhound or lower than Bloodhound? I think he's.
I think he's lower, but that's up to you. I would put like wall hacks are good. Wall hacks are good almost anywhere, even if it's a long cooldown. Both are really
Alright,
long cooldowns
yeah.
for an ability, but
Yeah, I'll put him below. But his ult though is.
both ults are good for Bloodhound and Gibby.
No,
I
I think
it's
Gibby's ult is better than Bloodhound's. Because Bloodhound's
It's more
ult.
consistent. I'll say it depends on the Bloodhound.
Because Bloodhound's ult, like, yeah, it's really good for scanning, but it's really bad for actual fighting. Because Bloodhound's
Increased
ult,
movement is really good, dude. That makes you a
but
harder hitbox.
everyone knows where you are. Because the sound that you're
Mm.
making, everyone knows exactly where you are. Like, you can hear a Bloodhound
It's
coming
only
from a
on the
mile away.
initial, though. It's
Huh?
only on the initial sound, though.
No, it's a
It's a-
consistent sound.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So,
Then
I want to say, like, they're probably in the same level, but I'm going to put Gibby just a slight above just because I think his ult is more usable. And I really
fair.
just do
I've
think that.
rarely ever run into Gibbies that use their ult properly, but I do see the application being more practical.
Yeah, especially in the final circle.
Within
like,
a team setting, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, what's the next one?
Lifeline. That's a D
Lifeline.
character. That is a D character.
I don't agree with that. I cannot. I've run into some lifelines that are actually like really good, and I feel like lifeline.
But you think about that and you're like, damn, you would probably be way better as a Newcastle, in my opinion.
She's definitely not. I want to say I want to put her.
What
at
about the ult is extremely underwhelming, in my opinion.
No, because you can use
It's
it
a
effectively.
shittier black market. It's just a shittier black market.
No, but you can use it as a cover in case in the final circle.
And you can also use Loba's black market
you
as
can't.
cover.
That's barely a cover, bro, and that's easy to shoot. And you can shoot that
Okay,
down.
that's fair.
You can't
That's
shoot down
fair,
a
but,
lifeline
like,
thing.
But even then, it's deployable cover, which at that point, why are you not using Rampart?
That's why Rampart's A tier. She's not definitely gonna go below Rampart, or she's never gonna go above Rampart. But I don't think she's a D tier. I want to say low B for her.
I hard disagree with that. I want to make sure we put like both our tier lists here. I definitely think Lifeline needs a rework. Her ult is so useless throughout until you get to the point that you need that cover. Like the point of Lifeline's kit is under the assumption you're already on a losing end of a fight.
No, not really. It's just a faster recovery. Because
That
you can
what,
use
you're
your
healing?
huh?
That you heal. I guess sure you
You
use
can
less
use your drone-
resources,
you can
but
use-
under the assumption that you won your fight, you probably have a lot of syringes to go around anyway.
Yeah, but it's faster, so you don't have to waste as many syringes as you need to.
If you win your fights, then you have a bunch of syringes, then you're fine.
Yeah, but that takes time. Syringes takes time to actually deploy, whereas healing drone will only make you do like what, 1, maybe 2 syringes.
I
In
guess
in regards to
don't
four.
know. Like
In regards to the whole
to
4.
me,
four syringes.
it's just that Lifeline's entire kit revolves around you taking damage. Which sure, it's gonna happen, but you don't want to. That's not something you want to happen.
Right, but it's gonna happen. It's not like
I
you're
mean-
gonna go through a match damageless, unless you're
You
like
could-
Asu or something.
Sure, but I don't know, man. I don't like the idea of going under the assumption that you're going to be going into a fight taking damage. If
Are
that
we
makes sense.
basing?
Like,
So we're basing this off of just BR, right? No, we're not doing ranked. Because I feel like
no,
ranked. Like,
we're doing like I guess a mix of both. Because
that's okay.
you play
I
more
don't
ranked
think
than
I don't
do,
think we should. I don't think we should because
you play
my-
more ranked than I do. We're
my
also gonna
tier
have to cut
list
a lot of this.
my tier list will be different for rank because I'm sorry, not rank. Arenas. Is this just BRs as arenas?
Oh no, yeah, Lifeline goes up way harder in arenas.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay,
agree
so
with that. And
I can.
like,
How
I'm
about
not,
C tier?
I have not been basing this around arenas. If
How about
that's
C tier?
clear. I'm
Sorry, I
basing
don't know
it.
why I said rank, but this is both. How about C tier?
I mean, sure. I definitely think she has her place on it. Like, I'm not gonna say no to a Lifeline, but I'm like, again, I'd rather have a Newcastle that can reposition me if I go down, because that res while she's shooting does not mean I'm gonna be in a good position to get res.
You're not wrong on that one, but I think the healing and the potential cover that you can use with her ult, I think it's really good. Not to mention you can get really fast.
If I had to
Purple
give her
blue
a
shields.
generous thing, I'd give her like a low B tier.
I'll do C tier. for rank.
Having the point of an ult being something that everyone else can just be used, that like that you would just use Rampart for, which is basically her tactical, and that have be her ult, when that's not
Yeah.
even meant to be what it's not
Yeah,
even
that's
meant
why-
to be what it's used for. It's meant
that's
to be
why-
used to give you supplies.
That's why Rampart is
doesn't do
higher.
well.
That's why Rampart's higher on the list and Lifeline is lower on the list because her ult is basically one, it gives you items, and two, it gives you cover.
How consistent are you like those items even useful?
Shield bats and shield cells are always useful. If you don't have a purple shield or a blue shield, yeah, it should always give you a shield. Well, I don't know if always, but she'll basically give you a shield. Yeah, those.
But what if
she'll
you
give
already do have those items? Then like the ult you call down is kind of just brings everyone else towards you.
I mean, it's still a cover, so you can use it in the final circle.
But what if you don't make it to the final? Like it's just so
You
to
can't-
me it's so
I mean-
situational.
I know, but a lot of these heroes are situational. Like, what if you don't have? What if you're out in an open field, for example? What are you gonna do as something? Let's say like Ashe, I guess, where you really can't move around anywhere because anywhere you move is gonna be an open field. You know, a lot of this is situational,
Let's
but
give her that benefit. We'll give Lifeline that benefit, I guess. But based around her kit, hold on, let me pull up Lifeline. Actually, why am I still on Gibby?
I think Lifeline. I'll settle with a C for her.
I'm gonna say. So
I
are
don't
we
think-
basing this? Is this list our list or is it like your list? I don't mind just having two lists.
I think we should do like our list like together because that's what I'm saying. You're saying D tier.
Okay,
I'm
that's
saying
fine.
low B. So let's meet in the middle and do
All right.
C tier.
If we're gonna do averages, then I guess C tier makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Next legend.
Pathfinder. He technically does not have a passive.
Okay. Pathfinder. I don't know. I've seen some pretty good Pathfinders in ranked, and I feel like Pathfinder is that one legend, one of the few legends that I feel like has been nerfed to the ground because of the fact that like when he first came out, he was so good. His mobility, I think, he was like the Valkyrie.
Mobility
before
is the name of the game in this
So,
game.
I personally want to put him in either a low A or a high B, but
I think that's fair.
yeah.
I think that's really fair.
Where do you think
I
he
mean,
would go?
Team Zipline is pretty much like it's a shittier Ashe ult. Let's be real.
It's shittier and it's a shittier Ashe and Valkyrie ult, but you can position yourself in places that Ashe probably can't reach. And
But even then, a shitty Ashe and Valk ult is still a decent ult.
yeah, it's
Like,
still a good yeah. What I'm saying is
so
it's
I
basically
think
yeah.
low A, high B. It's up to you at that point. I
put him in low A
It depends
earlier.
on the skill of the player of like how well they can utilize grapple at that point.
Where is Pathfinder in this list? Okay, I'm gonna put him a low A, like earlier.
Mm-hmm.
What's
No, that's
next on
fair.
your list?
I love how we spent like maybe a minute on Pathfinder, but like 5 minutes on Lifeline.
Yeah. What's next on the list?
Wraith.
I put Wraith really low last time, but I think she's B tier.
I think Wraith has a really bad passive.
What's her passive? Oh
Voices
wait,
from the void that tells you that someone might shoot you while you're dead.
that's no. You. It's just it
I'm
just
saying
tells
that
you.
sarcastically because the audio cues that tell you, hey, someone might be shooting you soon, is like it's so late, it's never consistent.
No, I don't know. I disagree with that because I've played with like some raids before, and whenever someone's aiming down on us, we usually can tell because of raid. So we're more like
Yeah, I'm
wary
not
because of
saying
that.
that it like it doesn't have its applications, and I'm sure it does, but like have you I've played a little bit of Wraith and I'm not like super sold on her kit compared to like Ashe. Because they played almost similarly to
Mm,
using portals and like getting to uh basically using her tack is kind of a shittier get out of jail free card, which is
yeah,
good, but
still a jump get out of free
I
card.
would have her like high B. Definitely not A, but like I'd have her high to
Yeah.
mid B.
All right, I'll put her above Bloodhound because I think her
I think
pearl is
I
just
think that's
nice,
right. No, I
and
think
below
that's right.
BB.
Portal, a two-way portal that you can use back and forth is still good.
Yeah, I think it's also sometimes better than
That's
Ash's
to
ult.
her benefit.
It's sometimes also better than Ash's ult because you can't turn corners. Ash is like a straight line in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Wraith is
It's
like
line of sight
wherever.
based, where you can use her tack to work with her ult, which makes
Yeah,
the kit together work a lot more seamlessly. So
yeah,
maybe, yeah, maybe high B.
yeah. Okay, high B. Next one.
Bangalore.
Bangalore, my first
This
main.
is this
One of my
one's
first
interesting.
mains.
I think this one's very interesting.
I put her
Um,
low when I was making it to earlier. I think she's either low B or high C. The thing
I would
about
agree. I would
Bangalore,
agree with that.
yeah.
I think I would go more low C just because like Seer is all over the fucking place and it makes her attack incredibly underwhelming.
No,
Look, in my opinion, her best thing about her kit is tied between her artillery strike and double time.
yeah. So in that case, I would put her in a low B personally, just because her attack is still pretty good against anyone that's not Seer for running away or for like putting distractions.
Yeah, no,
Really.
that's fair.
And her
Um,
artillery is actually really good for like final circles. So
I'm trying to think because like even then you have digital scopes. You have which I guess is what Loba can counter Bangalore with is just I'm gonna get a digital scope one way.
I
The
mean, yeah.
Fuse is pretty good at using his ult to counter, which I don't know if you would consider that too good of a counter to use a whole like fucking mother load on a smoke screen, but it's something.
Hmm.
There's just so many abilities that scan. Like Vantage is out too. Like we forget,
Yeah.
like that helps a lot. So I'd
So
say
so low
like
B.
high C. I
Low
say
B.
high C because there's so many scans.
I see a low
It's not just Seer.
Let's
Like
see
it's
if it's
Bloodhound, it's Vantage, it's Fuse's ult, it's Maggie's
okay.
passive.
Okay.
Like
I'll put it high C. It's just her artillery is just like that
her
decent
artillery is
well.
good. It's really
Yeah.
good.
That's why I was gonna think about putting her low B, but I'll settle for high C for her.
But like her artillery doesn't carry her like fucking Ashe does. So
It,
next is
def- it,
Caustic.
it definitely puts her up there in like low to mid B when it's a final
I'm
circle,
not
but
afraid of
yeah.
putting characters in like lower tiers. Just because
Yeah.
someone's C or D tier does not mean, like we said before, all these characters are viable. You can play them. It
Correct.
just means that they might need some help later on in patches.
Alright. We'll put her in high C then. Okay, what's the next one?
Caustic. I'm gonna go with. So what do we define S as? Because that kind of matters
Okay.
here.
So here's what I think of Plastic. I think if it's rank, it's high A, low S. But I think if it's regular pub, it's just mid A. Caustic is good all around because I think he has
Fortification for him is kind of weird.
fortification is
It
nutty.
doesn't make sense with his kit, but it's still an extra buff that he just has.
Yeah, his fortification like abilities, even though it's not supposed to be fortification, it's still pretty nutty. I remember like going through one match where like I literally was hiding. I was like the last person alive, and there was like 2 squads left. I like was inching towards the middle, like in an open field, just popping caustic traps as cover, and I was still able to make it like top 3, top 2, or like I think I got top 2 in that one. But Caustic, I think like his kit is just overall really good. He used traps.
It's well-rounded. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's hard to complain about anything in his kit. He doesn't do anything like incredibly stellar, unless you're in like obviously like a building that's the final ring.
Oh yeah, then
When
Caustic
at that point, you become the best character
Yeah.
in that lobby.
I think
But
Caustic is high
otherwise-
A.
Yeah, I think he's high A. I
Yeah,
agree.
Better than Pathfinder, in my opinion. I can't for some reason. Okay. Yeah, so Caustic being high A. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mirage is next.
I think Mirage is.
I think Mirage is C as well, like mid C.
I think.
I definitely. There's a lot of
He's
stuff
better than
about
Lifeline.
Mirage that they've been trying to help him out with. I do. And okay, so this is a suggestion I actually thought about today. Do you think that holograms should be able to shoot back, not do damage, but like shoot back?
No.
The entire point.
No.
The entire point of his kit is to confuse you.
No, I don't think
The
so.
more you play the more you play this game, the more you'll be able to tell which one's the fake one.
No, because I don't think.
I do think that'd be incredibly hard, right?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit too much for that. I don't know. I
But
just think that
I just don't know how to make his kit better.
I think he's in a good spot right now, actually, in terms of his
Yeah.
in terms of his kit.
Right, but ideally you want everyone to be around like Caustic, where you feel powerful, you just don't feel like you're busted.
Maybe give him more clones to send out in without his ult. Like
Maybe
You know
you
how,
can
like,
decrease the cooldown on his
you can do
decrease
that.
the cooldown on
'Cause
his
you know-
attack.
Right,
It's
you know how
it's
like
a bit low.
you know how like Bloodhound has like 2 charges of smoke? Not Bloodhound, sorry, Bangalore. You can do the same thing
Yeah.
with Mirage, where you have like
Yeah,
2, maybe 3.
he only has 1 charge and it's 15 seconds, and in team fight that's a long time to only have 1.
I think he's in a good spot, but he does need buff. I would say either low B or high C. Sorry, low B or high C.
I think high C.
High C. Yeah, because the other heroes that we talk about in B, I think are just
It's a team game, and he doesn't do much for the team other than invisible res, which
that's the only thing that would really put it up to high B or low B. But even then, like, I think unless like there's a lot of sounds going on, you can pretty much tell where that's going on, and you just shoot in that direction. So I'm gonna put Mirage at high C if I can find him.
I love high C. It's a great drink.
It's good. Next hero legend on the list.
Pass it to Octane.
Octane. Okay, I think I'm a little biased towards Octane, even though I don't really use Octane. I really like his jump pad. I think it's probably my favorite.
It's a beta version of like Valcult. It's kind of hilarious.
It's probably my favorite version of like the movement ult. I like it better than Ashe. I like it better than Pathfinder. Yeah, and it's fun to use too. So I want to put Octane at high A, above Pathfinder but below.
High A. That's very, very generous.
Yeah,
Where
I
I'd
would
put
say I
it,
want to say above Pathfinder but below Caustic. Because that's what we have right now.
He's definitely above Pathfinder in my opinion. I
Yeah.
think.
So we'll adjust it later. But
I'd
right now
say
he's one
mid
of those
A.
two.
I would give him mid A.
Well, right
personally.
now he's mid A definitely because he's above Pathfinder, but
Right.
below Caustic. But we'll adjust it later once we add more heroes into the A tier. But right now, yeah, he's definitely below
The biggest
Caustic.
flaw with jump pad is like it's the same thing as Valk. Is like you're just exposed. You need to use it smartly. Like you can say that about any movement-based ult. But
I feel like it is, although it's easier to use jump back than it is to use what's it called? It is to use what's it called?
Zip
Valkyrie's
line.
ult. No, Valkyrie's ult. Because with Valkyrie's ult, you have to be
Oh.
behind cover. You can't just be out in the open using that, whereas you can with Octane. Because you can just quickly pop it. Because you can quickly pop it and then use it. Whereas it's a pop and go thing. Whereas Valkyrie is like, hey, let's get behind this cover or let's get away from the fight and then use it. Octane is more like, put it down, get out.
It depends. So that kind of actually depends. You can act.
You don't want to be like popping Valkyrie ult in the middle of a gunfight.
Oh right.
Unless you go, you can do it with Octane, and then get out.
True. And even then, like at that point, if you're just using Octane for the jump pad, I feel like we've been talking about the jump pad a lot. We really should talk about Stim, because that's his kit, right?
Stim's a good escape tool. Yeah, it's a good escape tool.
It's incredible. I just feel like Octane's incredibly well balanced. And I wouldn't mind seeing some buffs for him. Like, he totally could have some if he wanted. But I think he's in a really good spot. I think mid A is, like, solid.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not a fan of high A, but I do agree with mid A. Which is nitpicky, but whatever.
We'll see what we get later. Who's the next one on the list?
Watson.
Watson? B. I have no idea if it's like high B yet or mid B, but B. I think.
Who else is in B right now?
It's Gibby, or it goes Gibraltar, Wraith, Bloodhound. I think she's better than Wraith, personally speaking.
I think Wraith is better. Because again, a lot of these are become just situational at that point.
Yeah, I think her ult has more uses than Wraith's ult. Wraith's ult takes some time to set up, whereas her ult is like.
Yeah, you have to be very coordinated with your team.
Yeah.
With Wraith compared to Watson, you kind of just pop that shit.
And
hey, having like 2 slots for ult accelerants is great, because that is team utility. You could save that for a Valko.
Yeah, and also Watson like just hard counters both Bangalore and Gibby's ult, and also counters a lot of stuff like Mirage, like not Mirage, Valkyrie's missile stuff. I think below Gibby, but above Wraith, personally speaking.
I think that's fair.
Next one.
Crypto. I don't know enough about Crypto's kit to fully give a well-informed opinion, but every time I play with a Crypto, I never do particularly well. Like, I never see them do crazy, and unless it's like the one rare ass fucking Crypto where they just know how the fuck to use their drone like actually properly, I'm getting amazing scans, and like the game actually goes to the point we get like consistent like first places.
I've played Crypto before. Crypto can be good, but I think his kit is just way too difficult to use. I don't know how he stacks up now with his buffs, but I think even with that, his EMP is really good because he can get a lot of damage.
His EMP is a hard counter to a lot of defensive abilities, which in the final ring is it's really, really good.
I want to say low C, like below lifeline.
I think he's above lifeline, but like I think a lot of his kit, to me, a lot of his kit is like he's still a scan kit. Like that's really good.
Yeah, but you have to be outside your you have to be controlling
that's the really shitty thing. I think they need to make it so you can like.
Well, you can't.
You play Vantage, right?
You can scan. You can put his thing now. You can deploy it instead of like controlling it now.
Right, but like you can't move it, right?
No, you have to manually move it yourself.
I feel like they need to do the thing with like Vantage.
Yeah.
I agree. I think he's mid-C. I don't think he's below lifeline though.
You don't think he's below lifeline?
I don't think he's below lifeline, but he is in the C tier. He needs to be able to move the drone independently while shooting, because you're almost down a player not being able to just fucking use that.
I'll give him that. I'll give him above lifeline. All right.
His EMP is just really fucking nuts.
His EMP is nice. EMP is nice when used properly, and scan is a scan, so there's that. What's his passive again?
His passive is the scan. Or it's the scan. It takes up to 30.
And you can pick up like player death.
Oh yeah. Get banners.
So above lifeline.
That's above lifeline.
All right. Who's the next?
Next one, Revenant.
Below Crypto, I feel like.
I agree.
Because
low key, I think he might be below lifeline.
Yeah. Revenant
Death Totem does not make sense in terms of like, okay, so we're using it to avoid damage, but after we use it, we're gonna take some damage. Like, Why?
So the problem with Death Totem is that it was actually useful before. The problem is that they made it so that the sound is very, very noticeable, kind of like Bloodhound. And I think they nerfed the hell out of it because it was a lot more viable before. It would actually win us
Yeah,
some fights.
I remember using Death Totem a few times, and I'm like, why is a third of my health bar just not here? This doesn't feel fair for an ultimate.
Yeah, I mean it's always been like the consequence of using Death Totem, but it just worked out better back then. I don't know what it is. Maybe it is the sound nerf, or I guess the sound buff in terms of like them making you very noticeable when you're using his ult. So you can't really like adjust it because it was silent back then. Like only you could hear it, and the only time that you could really hear Death Totem is when people are actively using it instead of putting it down. Now everyone knows when you're putting it down, and then you're using it. So everyone within like a 10-mile radius knows that there's a Death Totem nearby. So I think.
I mean, if you're using it smartly, it depends. Like I've said, it depends probably so many fucking times.
I've really seen it used well in the past year. Not gonna lie.
You could say it depends how you use it.
But even if you use it properly,
consistency matters, and it's just not consistently used properly.
Yeah. So let's put him below Lifeline.
I agree. He needs some help. Like his passive is kind of bad. Being able to climb multiple distance, like that's just a.
You can climb like infinitely.
Sure, but like
Almost.
I guess Valk. Oh, but what does that do for the team?
No, that's more of a for him kind of thing.
Sure.
Kind of like Octane's tactical.
But at that point, you're gonna be like, I just think about the other movement-based things that other people do for the team. Like Horizon's tactical can lift everyone up into the air. Octane has the jump pad, and like there's a bunch of other movement-based abilities
Right, but
that
it's a
kind of just invalidate the passive of Revenant.
But those are abilities and not passives.
I guess.
Yeah, those are actual like you have to press this button abilities, whereas this one's like it just happens naturally kind of thing.
I guess.
I don't know. I like it.
I've rarely ran into situations where I'm like, yeah, I wish I was Revenant in this situation.
Right. I'm not disagreeing that he's like a low C, but maybe low key D, honestly. But
he might be a D. Like I'm down to put him in D if you are. I can't think of a character worse than Revenant.
If I upload this, Respawn, and you see this, please buff Revenant, man.
Like I'm down to buff. How long does silence last? I don't have Revenant unlocked, so I don't know.
Lasts a good time. I think like I don't know actually, but it lasts.
I feel like being an assault class, it should do more damage, in my opinion.
No, I think it's fine.
It does not do a lot of damage.
I think his Death Totem is the only thing that needs to be buffed. His Death Totem really just needs to be buffed.
I'm fine with him being a little more aggressive and having silence kind of like start for a push by like doing some more damage.
I don't know, because like back then he was viable even without any buffs. Literally the only nerf to him was his ultimate, and I feel like that's the only thing that they need to reverse, especially nowadays in this new meta. I think it's okay to like reverse the nerfs basically, because his kit was fine.
Yeah, I don't mind doing that, but like add to that silence. I'm good to add more to the silence.
Maybe a slightly longer duration.
Longer duration, shorter cooldown, you can do something. Yeah. That being said, the fact that we're complaining this long probably means he is in D tier.
He needs a lot of help. So we'll put him in D tier. Who's next?
Loba.
Okay. Loba's interesting. I've seen a really good
we both have very, very degrees of like Loba, I know.
I think Loba
has a fat ass that makes her S tier.
Oh yeah, that's a different tier list, bro. And there's Gibby that's putting that one. I think Loba is.
Well, let's go across
It's
like
definitely not C tier, definitely not S tier.
Oh no, I would. Mm,
Because I'm in between
I
A
agree
and
with your
B.
statement.
I'm in between A or B on this one.
I would not be upset if you put it in B, but if you did, I would be like, it has to be like a high B. I'm of the opinion it's a low A.
Loba, I think Loba is a low A on the right situation. Like, cause she could really save the team. If you're like if you're in a situation where like, you know, looting's gonna be hard because, well, whatever reason, right? Loba can really save you because all you have to do is go into a building and just pop your ult right then and there. I've seen a really good Loba play. I think I told you I saw a really good Loba play like a couple of weeks ago, and that changed my whole opinion on Loba. I was like, oh my god, like Loba's actually really good.
The bracelet is underrated. Like, yeah, it takes a long time to wind up. Yeah, it's loud. But if you keep those in mind and just know where to throw it properly so you have cover and you're safe,
isn't that still broken?
It's a really good high ground taker.
Isn't that still broken?
No, they fixed it.
Okay. I don't know, I haven't used the...
So now, like, her having a consistent mobility is really, really, like, I think why she's low A.
I haven't seen... Okay, I'll concede with low A. I just haven't seen much use with Loba in terms of, like, mobility aspect of it, but I think the looting aspect, when you do it, like, really, really well, it's nice. It's just, I don't know about her and Gibby, though. I'd rather take a Gibby than a Loba, I'm not gonna lie. But I will concede with low A because
I've seen... Team comp, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think it really depends on the team comp. It also depends on, like, low-key, and that's the RNG talking, like, where you land, who lands with you.
So you could probably interchange the two of them.
Added to her benefit, I don't know if you know this, but, like, her ult, when you drop, starts at 50%, which is really nuts for the beginning of a fight. If none of your team has good weapons, you could just pop the ult in the first 30 seconds, get good guns, and then clean the start of the round.
Yeah. So I do think Loba is low A. I agree with that.
So,
okay.
Yeah, she's my secondary, and I like mobility and I like looting, and she does both very, very well. So, Rampart.
A, definitely. I think...
I agree with A, but I am gonna say low.
Not low A.
Probably mid A. Probably mid A for me.
I think she's better than Octane.
I think so. I think her potential is better than Octane. I think Octanes have been more consistent in the ones that I've played with.
But is she better than Caustic?
No. I don't think so. Caustic has the ability to give hit markers and basically tell you where people are, which is like a really like whack way of scanning, but it's still a way of giving notification.
Yeah. Okay. I'll concede with like below Caustic because now that I think about it, Mad Maggie can actually counter Rampart very well. Because that, what do you call that? That her tactical, the drill dart or something it's called.
The drill, the riot drill.
Yeah. I think that's really annoying to play against. And I've seen it happen.
Maggie,
like, huh?
with the buff to Maggie, that also does hurt.
Yeah.
It's not a buff to her drill, but a buff to her ult, which makes you see more Maggies, which means that it's more of a problem for Rampart.
Yeah. So I think with the recent like buffs to Mad Maggie and Mad Maggie in general, I think Rampart will be mid to high A, but not as good as Caustic.
I'd say mid A, but yeah, that's up to you.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see. Well, I can't really like play an action game right now, but compared to what we have, higher than Octane, lower than Caustic. Okay.
Yeah. Horizon. I'll be honest. Can you explain the ult to me a little better? It pulls people in, right? It's like Zarya. Is it like Zarya?
Yeah, that's it. But you can escape out of it.
Okay.
But I think.
Yeah, she has a lot of team utility.
I don't know if she's...
to put it her lowest is a mid A.
I don't know if she's definitely above Octane, but I don't know if she's above or below Rampart. Because Rampart.
I think she's above Rampart, below Caustic.
Yeah, because her mobility is really nice.
Her so much more team utility. Her ult combines with so many people.
But
even movement-based people.
But the cover for Rampart is so nice though. Like,
it takes time. You can't shoot it down. Well, you could shoot both down, but
All right.
the initial parts of it takes time to set up.
All right. I'll put her above Rampart then. I think that's fair.
Both are still great. Like
Yeah,
I'm not.
you can probably interchange that depending on the situation. Like Rampart drastically goes
They're,
up in
they're,
like
they're really like situational dependent, and like
yeah.
in some parts you want the mobility, in some parts you want to clamp down.
So
So,
you can probably like
at that
interchange
point they're
those.
like 50-50.
Yeah.
Next is Fuse.
A, in my personal opinion,
I think
below,
mid-
maybe above.
Sorry.
I think above Rampart, personally speaking, but below Horizon.
I feel like his ult is like this is one of the weird cases where I think his tactical is better than his ult.
Yeah, but they're both still really good for like area denial and just annoying people in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
I do think that Fuse's ult should be a little better. Maybe that's just me.
it can be better. But you can push
there's
people
not a
into
lot
the
of-
ult. You can push people into the ult using your tactical. Just use it and follow up with the tactical.
Yeah, that's true. I actually never thought about it like that. Every time I use it, it's like, oh yeah, the people are slowed down in the fire, but they're not touching the fire, and I'm not doing any damage. So what am I really doing, right?
Yeah. I should play Fuse more often.
I do think that his ult needs to do a little more damage, which I totally understand, like, why that's fucking scary. Because at that point, he could become like an S tier character, depending on how they work with that. But, Grenadier is great. Like, you know, the ability to stack more grenades and, you know, throw them more accurate. Like, low-key, Arc Star's become a hit scan fucking weapon at that point.
I think
Like, you can
definitely,
hit, it's nuts.
I think definitely above Rampart, but is he better than what's it called? Is he better than Horizon?
I don't think so, no. I think Horizon brings too much to the team.
Okay, alright, then we'll do. Oh yeah, and Horizon's passive is also really. I really like Horizon's passive. That's my
What is
number
the
one.
passive for Horizon? I don't fully understand it.
You know, like when you drop down from a really high height and you have that small pause.
Yeah,
You don't-
the stun.
You don't have that.
Oh.
That's really.
I
I
wouldn't
don't know.
know.
That's my.
I wouldn't know. I play the next person we talk about here.
That's one of my biggest like gripes about Apex. I really don't like that like stun, but Horizon just fixes that for me. All right.
I mean, the next person we talk about on this list also
right.
fixes that problem for me.
Okay. So
This might be as fast as, you know, Seer, but
so definitely S tier, but is it
Yeah.
above? I think it's below Seer now. Just
I
because,
think it's below Seer.
Yeah.
She has a higher skill cap.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think potentially, you know, when there comes a situation where we need to use her ult, she definitely is above Seer at that point. But I feel like there's also a lot of situations where her ult literally isn't that great to use to, especially like in the final circle kind of thing. It's nice, you can still make use of it, like you can scan where people are in the final circle, but at the same time, you're also likely exposed doing that, and it's a big setup. So I think
I've rarely ever gotten shot down in the final circle using my ult just to scan for my team. I'll be honest. Like,
Yeah.
maybe it's the people I face, but the only time I'm ever gonna get shot is if I'm stupidly just doing it in open cover.
Right.
Using it to just give the scan to my team to let everyone know where they are in the final circle, doing high laps around like a really tiny circle, and then just landing back with my team with cover. It's almost like it's a scan ability almost. Like, you just see where everyone is, get your positionings right,
Right.
and like I do think the ult has a lot more to use than I think you are like used to, because I don't know how much Valkyrie you've played. She is my main. I will stand by the fact it is, in my opinion, I think it's the best ult in the game.
I've played with a lot of like other Valkyries before that are also really, really good, and yeah, her kit's just solid, honestly.
It has
takes
so
time to
little
set up.
flaws.
It just takes time to set up with her, with the ult. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean the ult having like the extra charge time is fucking necessary.
Yeah.
That being said,
yeah.
her passive is probably the best passive in the game.
What's her
it's-
passive again?
It's the Jets.
That's a passive?
That's a passive. That is
The
not a
fuck?
cooldown, by the way.
Her Diva just a passive?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It's fuel based, so they didn't nerf it. Like, it does take more out of her fuel tank now. So I have like realized it when I first picked up this game. I'd never run into the problem of running out of fuel. Like, it just never happened to me ever. But now I'm actually like having to think about how much I hit the jets, which is how you should play the character. You shouldn't
Yeah.
just be able to not think about it.
So this is just my thing, right? Thinking about it now, I think they shouldn't have given her the rockets. I don't know Titanfall lore, so I couldn't tell, but
Mhm.
it seems a little overkill to give
It
a
is. I'm
character
not gonna say
basically
it's not.
two abilities. I don't know why she has a rocket when clearly she's supposed to be a mobility character, mobility slash scan character.
Yeah,
The rockets are a little
I
bit
could not.
overkill.
I could not tell you. I do think the kit is kind of insane for its flexibility, and you can be an
Yeah,
assault character, you can be a scan character, you can be a
yeah.
defensive
The
character and back off.
fuck? I
She
never
has so many flexible roles on the team.
I never thought about it that way now. It's like, damn. Like, look at something like Octane who only has like two things going on for him. Maybe three, really. But compare that to someone like Valkyrie, it's like, dude. I guess if anything, if there's one
They
hero.
nerfed everything about her. Like, so her rockets did get nerfed. Like, they do less
Right.
damage, and
But
I think the
it's.
cooldown might be a little like.
But still.
But it's
It's
still
an
like
extra
something.
kit. Yeah.
My favorite comment watching the Valk trailer for the first time is like, wait, the rockets aren't her ultimate? Like,
Yeah. I feel like.
because man, it's really good. It's free it's an what's the grid? It's a 3x4 arc star deployment. It's kind of nuts.
It's not as powerful as an Arc Star, but I get what you mean.
No, it
it's basically
doesn't
a
do as much
cluster.
damage, but
It's a
the
cluster
point is
bomb.
it stuns enemies and
It's a
it
cluster
hampers
bomb.
movement.
Basically. It's a fused cluster
Yeah,
bomb, basically.
I wouldn't say it's meant to be. It could be used as area denial, but when you use it, you're forcing the enemy to make a decision. Am I going
Yeah,
to tank this
it's
25 shield
yeah.
damage, or am I going to move?
Yeah,
A lot of the times, they're usually going to tank the damage.
exactly.
25 isn't a crazy amount,
But it's
but
still
it
a
still
damage.
sucks.
It's still damage.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel like
still something that's applicable.
I feel like if there's one hero that Respawn purposely makes overpowered, it's fittingly Valkyrie because I feel like she's probably the closest to Titanfall lore. I think I'm not familiar with it. She
I
has
mean,
the
if we're going to
most-
go closest to Titanfall lore, it's Ash, but
Okay,
she literally is a Titanfall character, but
is she the
in terms
next?
of Titanfall, in terms of like this character feels like a Titanfall character, it's Valkyrie.
Is she the next character then?
Who?
Ash.
I think so. We can
Okay.
move on. No, it's technically Seer, but then it's Ash.
Yeah. Okay. So we already have
So
Seer
yeah,
up.
Ash. So
We
this
had a
one might be a
long
long.
ass discussion about this. I think.
Maybe we can shorten it down, but
Yeah. All right. So I think her biggest competitor right now is Caustic, because she's either better than Caustic at high A, or below Caustic at still high
I
A.
don't think she's as good as Caustic. Caustic's kit is much more well-rounded and applicable in so many other situations.
But then does that make Caustic S tier then?
I don't think Caustic or Ash are S tier.
Really? Okay. Let's.
I think Ash is mid to low A,
Mid to
which is
low A.
actually higher than I ranked her, I think, this morning.
I don't know, because I feel like her ult is sort of hard carries her. Like, I get it, yeah, like a lot of the top characters in the A slot, I feel like they have
Great kits that work for the team.
right,
And
but
yes, her ult is probably a top 3 that works for the team.
right, but
Everything
yeah.
else is kind of mid.
I'll concede to the fact that her kit, besides her ult, is
Not bad.
Not,
I want to point out, I'm not
it's nothing
saying
to
the
write
kit is
home
bad.
about. It's nothing to write home about. But I just feel like her ult just sort of kind of hard carries her, because instant like teleports is really nice. So
It's
I'll settle-
it's under the assumption you need to run away, which
okay, I'll settle
applies
with
more to ranked, I guess, but
I'll settle with
I'm more forgiving to give it like mid A, and that's like as high as I'll go.
I'll settle for above Rampart, below Fuse.
I think no, honestly, I think she's above.
No, because Fuse is annoying when it comes to his clusters and his.
Fuse is annoying. Is your art.
Dude, I mean, all the games I've been playing with her ranked, Fuse is like the most annoying person to play against with. Because I don't like his ult, bro. Like his ult when you're basically trapped in that little area, and then the cluster bombs are like, it's kind of like a Valkyrie tactical where it's forcing me to decide. And I think like Fuse's his consistency in terms of like how it can be effective in rank or in general games, I think it's much higher than Ash's, which is just a really good like positioning ult. I think it has less use case than something like Valkyrie for sure, but I think below Valkyrie she has the best mobility in the game. Not to mention it charges also really fast. I do think her kit is a little.
He has the best team mobility. I still think Octane and Pathfinder have better individual mobility.
No, I think Octane. Well, okay. Again, with Octane, I feel like I have a bias for his ultimate. I think like his ultimate is like. I just really like his ultimate, man. It's good.
No,
team,
I think individual.
solo.
Like if we're gonna talk about individual mobility and not team-based mobility, I think Pathfinder and Octane both match her, because outside of the phase breach, she doesn't really have anything to move her around.
Yeah. But the phase breach is on a short cooldown, so.
What's the time on this thing?
I think it's short. Feels short all the time.
I think it's the same time as Valk, which is one of the longest in the game. Because again, it's a mobility team-based movement thing. It might be pretty long.
It doesn't feel like it. Valks feel a lot longer.
I'm gonna look it up, actually. Timer, ultimates.
I'll do that too.
Apex.
Maybe not actually. You got it.
I don't know if the Wikipedia or the fan wiki has it updated with patch notes, if it changed at all. Well, this is old. Never mind.
Here, let's see. Ash ult cooldown. 25 seconds. Wait, no, that's Arc Snare.
I'm like, no, it's not 25 seconds. Jesus Christ.
Apex Legends wiki. Let's see here. Phase breach. Charge time is 2 minutes according to the official wiki. Valkyrie Apex Legends. Valkyrie is.
Valkyrie's definitely longer. It's at least like
3
2:30.
minutes. So about a minute. It's about a minute less than Skyward Dive.
Yeah, and I think Skyward Dive is probably still better, but yeah, I mean,
it's not. Is it faster than Octane? I don't think so, but Octane's.
No, Octane is like really fast.
Yeah. So I think where Ash right now is fine.
Where did you put her? I don't have your
Below
screen.
Fuse, but above Rampart.
That's like mid A, right?
Right now she's like slightly above mid A. Rampart and what's it called? Rampart and Ash.
Rampart's a gatekeeper. Like she literally is a gatekeeper to like, can you hang with the big boys?
Rampart and Ash are like both in mid A right now. They're like the two in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Ash is a little. I think it's interchangeable depending on the situation. But yeah. Next one is Bad Maggie, I'm assuming.
Yep, that's her.
A tier.
High A. At this point, I think high A. Worse
above
mid-A.
Ash, I would say so because of her drill. Her ult's okay, I feel like. It's good, but it's not
her ult
great.
Just a slightly better arc star, I guess.
Is it better than? No, it's like giving everyone Bangalore's passive basically.
Pretty much, and that's team utility. That's something you can. You know,
and you can use it as
I do think her I mean, her best thing is that she's a hard counter to a lot of other characters in that
Yeah.
wheelhouse of
So-
defensive options, right?
So is she better than Ash? I'm assuming she's better. I'm gonna say she's better than Ash, but is she better than Fuse?
I think she's better than Fuse.
You think so?
No,
I want to say no
they're pretty
because
equal.
Fuse is
They're
like
pretty equal.
I want to put her below Fuse because Fuse is just really good at area denial, whereas Mad Maggie is really only shield breach, whereas Fuse can
Here's the
also.
thing, though. I think Mad Maggie brings more to a team, whereas Fuse really has to know what they're doing, if that makes sense.
Well, let's put it this way. Fuse can also do. Well, Fuse can't break shields, but what Fuse can do that's almost as good, if not better than Mad Maggie, is to basically like annoy people out of cover. Because with Mad Maggie, you're forcing someone to not use one of the Sheila covers, or not the Rampart covers. But with Fuse, you're basically damaging them, saying like, "Hey, if you don't move, I'm gonna just keep bombarding this area with grenades and whatnot with cluster bombs."
You could do. It's like almost a similar concept of drill, not as applicable because
Right.
the way that the drill is, the way the drill works doesn't always do that. But
Right, but I feel like that's the best part about her kit, and not her ult. I feel like.
do you know if her passive scans for team, or I think it's just herself, right?
No, her passive is just literally like you have a better aim when you're sliding down a hill with a shotgun. Her passive's kind of ass.
No, her passive is temporarily highlight enemies you damage.
No, Mad Maggie.
No, it's move faster with shotguns and you temporarily highlight enemies you damage.
No?
Yeah. I was literally playing Maggie yesterday and there was a Bangalore that dropped smoke. I shot one of them and they became like scanned for myself. I didn't know if it looked like that for anyone else.
Thanks.
But like that's why I said Bangalore is probably is lower because Mad Maggie fucking shits on that smoke.
That doesn't seem something she can do.
No, she like literally look it up right now. You can see people through smoke if you shoot someone.
Hold on. Abilities, Rigel, Warlord's Fire Center passive. Oh yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. Temporarily highlight enemies you damage, move faster with shotguns. Damage enemy silhouettes are visible through walls and obstacles for 1 second. Maggie can walk around and run with a shotgun at the same speed as when her weapon is holstered. Okay, so that's actually pretty good. Okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's a single, but even then, if you have like a semi-automatic weapon that you're shooting, and I'm assuming if you're using Maggie and you understand her kit, you have decent tracking. You basically have a built-in digital sight.
Okay, then in that case, I'll put her above Fuse. I think those two can be interchangeable, but
I agree with that. Like I felt like they're pretty interchangeable, but I do feel like Maggie right now, like it's basically a self-scan ability.
Right. Above Fuse, but below Horizon, right?
I agree.
Okay. Newcastle.
This one's interesting.
I'm
He
gonna
got
say
buffed.
B. I'm gonna say B tier.
Really, I think he's great.
As someone who's spent hours on Newcastle, his kit is good. I like his kit, but compared to the kits of other heroes, I think
We're almost done with this videos. Can you say legend once?
shit. Compared to the kits of other legends, I think his kit is just like he's definitely high B. He's definitely better than Watson. I don't know if he's better than. I think he's below B. Personally speaking.
I hard disagree. I think the ability to move teammates while they are downed is like
That's his best ability though. Everything else Gibby does better. I think Dome Shield is better than his
Bubble Shield?
Than his Bubble Shield.
How long? Let me see how long Mobile Shield lasts.
Mobile Shield, not Bubble Shield. No, Mobile Shield I think lasts. I don't know actually.
I'm looking. I'm talking specifically about its cooldown.
Mobile Shield has, I think. Mobile Shield has more utility than Dome Shield. I feel like. But it covers also less space.
That hold on. I just tossed out the Mobile Shield. The cooldown is 11 seconds compared to Gibby's 25. That's kind of nuts.
Yeah, but it also, I mean, yeah, it's more utility, but it also covers less
But it also
space.
takes damage, which is fair.
Yeah.
But you can also move it, so it's like it's give and take. I definitely feel like there's more applications for Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle is more like more applications, whereas Gibby is like more of a hard stomper, I think. I don't know, that's the thing. Newcastle ult, it's honestly just a Sheila ult. Not gonna lie, it's just not a Sheila ult. Newcastle ult is
This
just
will forever refer to like
Ram-
cover
Rampart.
as Sheila.
Newcastle ult is basically just a wider version of Rampart's tactical. Like that's it.
And that's still good. Like that's
It's
still pretty
good.
dang good.
It's still good, but I feel like Rampart just does a lot of things better than Newcastle in terms of like defense, because you can position that wherever.
Well,
It's not
well,
a
here's the
problem.
thing, though, right? Is that like, Rampart's attacks, understandably, take longer to set up, and Newcastle's is instant. You instantly will teleport to an ally,
But
which
it's
is technically team mobility.
but it's ult though. That's why it's instant. It's ult. It's an ultimate, and
Which I think is fair.
you still get some cover with Sheila, and you don't necessarily have to get it shut down as long as you're smart enough in placing it, or you're in a good situation to place it. You can also place it in more areas, like for example, you're holding off a building. I think it's better to pair like a constant with Rampart, considering you can place Rampart's traps,
Yeah,
and
drops around here.
yeah, and you can also place it in specific doors, basically. You have the damage buff when it comes to
Yeah, the
Rampart.
amp wall.
yeah. I think Rampart's attack is just more utility compared to what's it called? Compared to Newcastle's ult. Personally speaking,
I think he's a low A at worst, a mid A on average, and in the really good hands, he's a high A. I think he's mid A.
I
Personally.
don't think he's higher than Rampart, like ever. That's the thing.
I mean,
Because it's just that
hey, we're averaging this out, so if you're putting
Yeah.
him low B, like mid B, he's at least an A minus then.
is he better than Octane or Pathfinder though? I don't know.
I agree, yes. I agree.
But is he? Because the thing is that I don't even think he's better than Gibby.
Hey, a 15% defense buff is a 15% defense buff.
I still don't think he's better than Gibby though. That's the thing.
I mean, I think he is, personally. Like, here's the thing, is that, like, there's no hard counter compared to Gibby with Mad Maggie's running around right now.
Yeah, but so she also counters Newcastle in that case.
Does it break the wall instantly?
I think so. I could be wrong about that actually. Let me see.
It breaks the wall instantly. Let me switch to Manager. Let me test it out right now.
Bouncing.
It'll probably do damage. I'm not sure if it'll actually break it.
Doesn't say anything for Mad Maggie what it breaks and what doesn't break. Can Mad Maggie
Well, we're about to find out. Let's see.
break Newcastle ult?
Because if the answer is that the ball does not break it, let's see right now.
Well, in either case.
No, it doesn't. It does not break Newcastle's wall.
In either case, Mad Maggie's attack can still go through Newcastle's wall. I know that for a fact.
And can you not? Isn't not the same case with the dome?
That I don't know actually.
I'm pretty sure it goes through the dome, which I feel like with Maggie hard countering Gibby, I do think that puts Newcastle above Gibby because Newcastle does not have a hard counter.
Let's
Like
see.
I just tested the wrecking ball on the ult on Newcastle's ult. It did not break.
Can you test Mad Maggie's ability on Gibby Dome? How can you do that, by the way? How are you testing stuff like that?
Probably not. You'd have to be in this lobby if you want to get in here. But like, the attack is gonna go through the wall. I know that much. I've had it happen to me.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, Gibby fell off. Like it just happened.
All right, I'll put him in low A. Below Loba or above Loba?
I think he's below Loba. Well, I mean, actually, I think they're about even. But I know
Because then that
you don't think too highly of Newcastle, so I wouldn't be upset if you put him below Loba.
I'll put him above Loba then.
Really?
Okay.
Oh.
I'll concede that he's
I think
better
they're
than...
about. Honestly, now that I think about it, I do think I'd rather have a Loba than a Newcastle, personally.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could just switch those
I
two.
think it's interchangeable, really, with Loba and Newcastle at this point.
And then the last one.
I have not played that much Vantage in this season, but I've seen a lot of Vantage players. Vantage is low-key scary.
She's a new kid on the block. Everyone wants to play her.
I don't think it's safe to put her in S tier, but
no, I don't think so either.
I don't think she's B tier.
At best, she's mid A. I think at best she's mid A. She's a very balanced character. It's hard to say that she's not.
She's somewhere around Ashe and Rampart. I think she's either. I can't tell if she's better. I want to say she's better. I want to say she's better than Ashe because her sniping ability is just like.
It's a third gun. Like it's good. It's a third gun.
Her sniping ability is pretty scary. Not gonna lie. It's just saying like, hey.
Her passive is underrated, man.
What's her passive?
Aim down the sights to see. That it's not even saying the proper passive. Basically, you can when you mark enemies, you can see, like, I'm sure you've heard it before, like pray over there with level 2 shields.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
And that's kind of huge. Like, and she'll also say, oh, they're traveling in a pack. Like, okay, they're a full team of 3. Or that's a person with blue shield and they only have 2 people. You should probably attack that.
So
that is very unique information given to a team, and that's great to know. It's like, oh, we can push that. Or we should stay away from that team with red shields.
I put her above Ashe just because I feel like her kit is just really good right now. And
the most balanced part about I do think we should be able to shoot down her bat. I feel like we should be able to like shoot it like a drone.
I don't think she's above. Yeah, I don't think she's above Fuse though.
I think they're about even. Her and Fuse.
Yeah, so just about right. Interchangeable. All right,
that's content right there.
That's the list. I mean,
that's the Pause Menu podcast.
Pause Menu podcast. All right, I'll put this in our what's it called? Chat.
And just be like, hey, if you want to listen to some Apex ASMR, here you go.
That's the tier list right there.